It's 5:30 on Monday, May 11th, and we're gonna on 2026, and we're gonna call the meeting to order. Darren, if you'd like to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We are on item number 3, items from the public. Yeah. Did you want to speak? Okay. We have somebody online. And
Okay, go ahead.
And go ahead and come on camera and come off.
Sorry, I was having trouble getting hooked up. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council and guests. I'm with the Marine Resources Committee. My name is Ann Skelton, and I'm here just to invite you all to our annual science conference in Long Beach at the Cranberry Museum on Saturday, May 16th, coming up this weekend. It's a conference we have every year, and it's just to discover and to talk about science that's going on in our communities. Here in Pacific County, we're going to have port updates. We're going to have someone reporting from the Chinook Hatchery. There's going to be a report on the marine mammal stranding, the recent stranding, salmon in the classroom, some school projects, a guy from Oregon State, Brian Atwater, who's going to be talking about tsunamis. Anyway, there's just a lot of things of interest. It starts at 9, but you can come in at 8:30 if you like, and we'll have some coffee and donuts. There'll be a free lunch and then a seafood dinner afterwards at about 4:30. So everyone is welcome. And all we ask you to do is to register so we know that we have enough food for everybody. If you have a pencil, place to register is mrc.pacificcd.org. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much. That was on my report because I got the invite from Jackson Blaylock. So I forward that on to folks. So thank you so much for coming and speaking about it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hope you have a great conference.
Thank you.
Anyone else online? Seeing none, we can move on to item number 4. I didn't bring my other glasses in. Approval of the agenda and consent agenda, and approval of the minutes for the regular meeting April 27th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda, consent agenda, and the minutes from the regular meeting of April 27th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Five correspondence.
No correspondence.
Okay. Item number 6 is Ordinance 1616, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of South Bend, Washington, amending Chapter 9.10 of the South Bend Municipal Code relating to disorderly conduct, public nuisances, authorizing clerical corrections, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date. This is the first reading. Would you like to speak to this?
I can, yes. So this ordinance, I've been working with our city attorney and updating it. We had updated it a couple years ago, and some things kind of got messed up in what we wanted to accomplish. So we had our city attorney go through it and fix those issues. And then he pointed out a couple things that were in the old code that shouldn't have been in there anyway. So we struck those. The main changes are the firearms. Shooting a firearm in the city is actually a gross misdemeanor, and our municipal code had it as a misdemeanor. We took that completely out of there because unlawful discharge of a firearm in the city limits is governed by RCW anyway, so we would charge something under that. So we took that out of there. The fireworks portion was included in the disorderly part previously, and it made it a criminal offense. We changed that and moved it to the public nuisance side of things, to where the first offense for a firework violation is a or an infraction now. I know that was the intent the last time this was brought to the council, was to make that like $150 infraction. And the way we did it, it wasn't right. So this is the correct way to do it. And then it adds language defining that any of the disorderly violations are misdemeanors. And then the other thing that it did was at the end, under the violations for the public nuisance stuff, it allows the city to charge somebody a violation for each day that the property remains in violation. So instead of us waiting 30 days before we write them another ticket, the language in here specifically allows us to charge them an infraction of $150 the first time, and then a $250 infraction per day that the property remains in violation until it gets resolved. So it also allows for if another of the same violation occurs within a 12-month period, we don't have to do the infractions part all over again. We could then escalate it to a misdemeanor and charge them criminally. So it cleans it up, makes it legal, and it'll benefit us greatly.
So this is nothing more than just cleaning it up and changing, make sure the charges are correct.
Yes. Yep. And adding in the daily charge for an infraction, and which was a recommendation from our city attorney, that most cities have this to where you can charge people that are in violation per day of violation. So
do we not need any kind of a pointer for the firearms in here?
What do you mean?
Just to say that it referred to the RCW as opposed to.
No, because we have
striking it completely out.
Yes, because we have adopted RCW by reference anyway in our municipal code. So
Okay.
we enforce RCW laws as well.
Because I mean, people talk about,
If
any kind of violations, one of the things they think about is, well, it shouldn't cover under the city code.
yeah, no,
Firearms.
if you look in our actual criminal code, it says that we adopt the RCW by
Okay.
reference. So
Great questions. Thank you for providing that clarifications. Any other questions? Wyatt, did you have any questions?
No, it seems pretty straightforward on that.
Thank you. Jim? Right. Well, let's move on then to department head reports. Chief Steve.
We have to vote on it.
No,
But
It's-
this is just the first.
it's the first reading. There's no action on a first reading.
I think we have to move it to a second reading.
Oh, do we have to move it? We do?
Yeah.
Wyatt?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
normally it is voted
Oh,
and
okay.
moved to a second.
Oh, okay. So would we like to, I will entertain a motion to move it to a second reading?
I'll make a
Second.
motion to move ordinance number 1616 to a second reading.
Wait a second.
Before you disappear.
I'll second it.
We lost
Great.
everybody.
Thank you. So it's been moved and seconded. That will move ordinance 1616 to a second reading. All those in favor?
All right,
Motion carries. Item number 7, department head reports, chiefs.
I just wanted to say I appreciated Mr. Zimon's help on our disorderly code in getting that squared away. I plan on having him tackle our animal ordinance or our animal code next, so that we can get some of that stuff buttoned up. He's extremely helpful. And then the only other thing I have is thank you to my crew. They did a great job while I was gone. And seems that everything was running all right. I didn't come back to any messes or anything, so they did a good job. I appreciate them.
Great. Thank you. Supervisor Helk.
Business as usual. Everything seems to be going smooth. Starting all of our summer maintenance items, you know. We did have a productive meeting this afternoon, with the county over at the annex. We're discussing how to deal with the Morrison Creek and impoundment area issues there. And it was a really good meeting. They're on board. There's a lot of hoops to jump through, of course, but we're all ears and want to help us out. So I think it'll be a great partnership. And we look forward to the next meeting. Should happen soon.
Great, thanks. Chief McGee's not here. Kirk Johnson.
I have no report.
And my main item for the report was gonna be the Marine Resources Conference, because I got that invite. So if anybody was interested, I can send you like the link directly, so then you don't have to type it in or anything like that. Did anybody want that?
you can send it to me.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, okay. Yeah. And then go to item number 9, public comments on current agenda items. Anybody wanna? Anybody online? Alright. Hearing none, we'll go to council comments. Starting in here.
Nothing from me.
I was on the hospital call, as well, again, was on the hospital call. We both attended that. I was actually, kind of surprised at of the issues that are going on with the hospital. I didn't realize was quite that extreme. But it sounds like they're having a lot of problems with funding and whatnot. Cause it just, like, sounds like they were trying to just do everything off property tax. So they couldn't get the bond passed, and I took away from it that it's gonna get dire in the next 5 years, something to that effect, if we don't figure out some kind of a situation. So I plan to try to attend again to see what's going on and see if there's anything there that I could help with. It was a good cross section, I think, of the population of South Bend. So, well, of everybody that uses the hospital anyway. So, but that's all I have.
Thank you.
Well, I can add a couple of things. They're working on a 3 to 5 year plan using this hospital to try to increase their revenues, so that when they try for the bond again, you know, they'll be in better shape. They're thinking maybe they only want, you know, 20% from us or 30. They talked a lot about, you know, for a doctor, they need 3 rooms, exam rooms, one for the person that's finishing up and leaving, one that's going to be seen next, and one for the next person. and they really only have one room. So it moves very slowly. They can't see as many people. So they're thinking about taking John Joseph's old clinic, which is the business office, and the one next to him, which I think was a mental health building, and upgrading those, but they're not ADA compliant because they were before that. And then they're talking about maybe putting a portable unit. Here's John's office, the other one in that corner, renting it so that they don't, they can just lease it and then they'll come take it away. They wanted, well, Tony was here and invited us. They want, they realized that they didn't talk to enough people before the last levy, and they want a buy-in from the cities, which I don't think they got. And so I'm gonna, go and listen. They got a grant to put in a new CAT scan. They're gonna replumb it on the ceiling, the hot water, because they can't go underneath because it's, concrete. So, I mean, they're committed and, they're gonna try to see it through.
I mean, if I can add also, Ken, they're also talking about the verbiage that they use, that they don't necessarily want to call it a hospital. They want to go more of like a medical type. What was it? The term they used? More of it, that it's more of a healthcare facility as opposed to a hospital, because some of the people don't feel they actually go to the hospital. They go up there to go see their doctor. They go
Right.
a clinic or a day visit or something like that. But if you hear, well, I have to pay for a hospital, I never go to the hospital. That's part of the problem that we're assessing. So it's a little bit of the verbiage, right?
I think
How to attract.
Chris Halpin brought up the fact that they purchased the property, and everybody was in the dark about that. And of course, paid a lot of money for it. And he talked about when they wanted to build the Raymond School, the new Raymond School, and they had that gift of a property in Raymond on the hill. And the people finally just decided, we don't want our kids to be on a hill. I don't know why, but and they can't. I'd always thought, why don't they take a piece of property here and build a clinic, in town here? But they get $330 for every encounter, because they're a rural health hospital. And if they have a clinic that's off campus, they'd get their reimbursement's about $33, which is typical for doctors that aren't rural health. When you're rural health, you get, a pretty big stipend.
That's part of the problem. They also don't have any more real estate to move.
Plus
things on campus and the hills
they've got some cracks from where the MRI machine goes. And, they talked about how when they built the jail, they dug out the hillside. So they're having some geo guys come and check the whole hill all the way around.
It'll just fall into City Hall.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was a good meeting. I'll go again and stick with them. I wasn't happy with the first levy at all because our people can't afford it. So gotta figure out how to slim it down. But I'll tell you, that Elma Hospital, that is beautiful. Up there. It's very nice.
Anything else?
Nope.
That's it.
Nope.
Counselor Kuiken, anything?
I am good.
All right. Any future agenda topics?
None for me.
All right, well.
Oh, we're gonna have the spring cleanup. When is that?
June.
June
16th, is that right?
That sounds right.
It's in the.
That's the middle of the game.
It's June 15th through the.
Yeah.
It's in the minutes. Thank goodness it's right here.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and we are adjourned.